Uncle Gobb and the Dread Shed. Uncle Gobb loves asking Malcolm questions like, what's 4 plus 4? Where's Egypt? Where does the equator end? Who was the President of the United States of America? Are we? When's tea time? Who is? Can it? It was Malcolm's job to fire back the answers. The trouble was that some of the questions didn't make sense. And so Uncle Gobb got sadder and sadder and angrier and redder until in the end, everyone was very upset. When Uncle Gobb asked who was the President of the United States, Malcolm said, when? And Uncle Gobb shouted at him, I'm asking the questions round here, which didn't help. So Mum said, Derek, be a dear, just think up some other way of doing questions. All right then, said Uncle Gobb, here is my new way of doing questions. If there is anything, Malcolm, you don't know the answer to, ask me. Malcolm thought for a bit and then said, is there anything lighter than light? Uncle Gobb said, that's a very good question, boy. That's an excellent question. I like that question. It's a question that's very interesting and mind-consuming. It's one of the best questions I've ever heard in all my life, and I've been to China. Aha, thought Malcolm. There are times when Uncle Gobb isn't the most annoying, boring person in the world. He's the most stuck person in the world. All right then, said Uncle Gobb, the best way to do questions is for me to think of a question. I then get you to ask me that very same question, and then I will answer it. So, my boy, supposing you wanted to know what fuel is burnt in an internal combustion engine. You say to me, what fuel is burnt in the internal combustion engine? Off you go then. Malcolm left the room. Uncle Gobb shouted after him, No, come back. I didn't mean off you go. I meant ask the question. Malcolm said, OK. And this is how it went after that. Uncle Gobb, who won the men's 100 metres at the 2012 Olympics? That would be an interesting question, Malcolm. Malcolm, Uncle Gobb, who won the men's 100 metres at the 1912 Olympics? Uncle Gobb, 2012. Malcolm, oh, that's interesting. 2012 won the men's 100 metres at the 1912 Olympics, eh? Uncle Gobb, the question I suggested you ask was, who won the men's 100 metres at the 2012 Olympics? Malcolm, oh right, but while we're on 1912, who did win the men's 100 metres at the 1912 Olympics? Uncle Gobb, I have no idea. I don't even know if there was an Olympics in 1912. We're not talking about 1912. Malcolm, no, I know you're not, but I am. But if you don't know the answer to the question, then I'm not really learning anything, Uncle Gobb. You might be wondering at this moment if Malcolm was saying these things to annoy Uncle Gobb. I certainly am. Uncle Gobb, but if you asked me the question about the 2012 Olympics, you would learn something for a change. Malcolm, but I know who won the men's 100 metres in the 2012 Olympic Games. It was Usain Bolt. Uncle Gobb, you really don't get it, do you? I'm trying to teach you something here. I'm trying to teach you how to ask questions. I'm trying to teach you some really interesting answers, and you muck the whole thing up with falling behind, boy, and I've been to China.